Here we go again. Here we go. Welcome to Mother Africa Be Calling. I'm your brother, Betsalel Yehudi Yisrael, also known as Eric. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Share, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And if you like what I do, before you leave, if you're new, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. And to my faithfuls, please share these messages. And so anyway, today we have here, if you haven't heard, you can see right here up on the screen, police kill 1-year-old boy by shooting into a car of a suspected shoplifter. 1 year. Look at this beautiful little baby here, man. A little man. Yeah, he didn't even get the chance to grow up. Police supposed to protect, supposed to be serving and protecting, and they are responsible for this beautiful little boy, little black or African American boy, Hebrew Israelite most likely, gone. Let me get down to the details, right? Let me get to this. So this week, police in Mississippi shot into a car trying to stop a fleeing suspect. In the process, they killed a 1-year-old boy and put his aunt in the hospital. Okay, listen, the scenario is tragic. Let's go down. I want to get to the details right here. It says on Sunday, police responded to a call about a possible shoplifter at a Walmart in Senatobia, Mississippi. Officers said they encountered two adults and a small child running from the building and getting into a vehicle. Cell phone footage from the scene shows officers running after the suspect on foot shows officers running after the suspects on foot as they drove away. Authorities said officers attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver drove in the direction of officers and nearly struck one of them. Reg citing the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, MBI, an officer then fired their weapon, according to MBI, and the vehicle fled the scene. The car went to a local hospital where 1-year-old Cohan Wiley was pronounced dead, according to Wiley's family. The other occupants of the car were his mother and his aunt, who was admitted in critical condition. So the aunt was in critical condition, and the baby boy, he didn't make it. You know, he was killed by the gunfire. A witness later claimed he saw two women, here's a witness, claimed he saw two women leaving the store, one holding the child and the other holding a box of diapers. It's not yet clear if they were actually shoplifting, but that's besides the point. Even if they were, pilfering diapers hardly merits an armed response. Listen, so anyway, Mississippi shoplifting is a misdemeanor. It says punishable by a fine or a few months in jail. Certainly not nothing that justifies deadly force. So here it is right here. Look, again, here we have it, right? Here we have it. Another unnecessary shooting of a black person by police, right? I mean, because I can go by just what I read, and I already know that they cannot justify this. The police even admitted in here that they saw the suspect leaving, running away from the shopping center, running to a car with a small child, and so they saw them, you know, leaving with a small child. This is from the police. Then it also says that they have cell phone footage. The first place it was about stolen diapers. That's petty right there, right? And then they says right here on Sunday, the police responded to a call about possibility of shoplifters at the Walmart, and Senatobia, Mississippi officers said they encountered two adults and a small child running from the building and getting into a vehicle. Right there. Let's stop right there. You got it right there. I reread it. This is the second time I read it. Now, officers said they encountered two adults and a small child running from the building, get into a vehicle. Right now, that's the problem right there. Because if the officers seen they got a call for shoplifting, then they see two adults running from the building with a small child right then and there, why would you shoot into the car? Then they say the car came in their direction. If the car came in your direction, then at the end of the day, if you saw them leaving or running away, how do you get in front of the car where it's coming in your direction? If they're fleeing from you, how do you now you had to put yourself in front of the car. You had to. I mean, because if they're fleeing from you, how do you get in front of the car? Unless some officers came late and then they jumped in front of the car. But even still, why would you do that though? Why would you jump in front of a car that's moving? I mean, me being former law enforcement, being a law enforcement officer in the past, okay, I retired. They teach you all these things in the academy, and I know that it's nationwide. The training is nationwide. You always supposed to make sure that you put yourself in a safe situation. You do not put yourself in a situation that could cause things to escalate where you would have to use deadly force. You want to always make sure that you do things where deadly force is something that most likely will not be necessary. It will not occur. But you put yourself in front of a moving car and then you shoot into it. And another thing, we were taught that we do not shoot at moving vehicles. This was one of our policies, and where I was. And it's probably something that's nationwide because let me show you why you don't want to do that. Look, because I read it in here too on another article. Um, Geoffrey Alpert, policing expert and a criminology professor at the University of South Carolina, said law enforcement officers are generally trained not to shoot in front of a moving vehicle and to avoid injury by stepping out of its path. A bullet is not going to stop the car, Alpert said, and if you shoot the driver, then you have a unguided missile. That officer may have been aware that a child was with the adults as they left the store is also concerning, he added. See, this is just what I'm saying. Like with that right there, it back what I was saying. Like you don't shoot at a moving vehicle. You don't shoot at a moving vehicle because why? Because if you hit the driver, like we just read, and kill him, the car is still going. Now it is definitely like you said, like a missile. It's like then you can kill some other people, right? So the car can keep going and kill people. So anyway, um, I just had to put this up here. This is why I say Mother Africa be calling. Mother Africa be calling. This is what this is. That's why I say if you can get up out of America, if the Most High give you the ability to do it and you want to do it, so just do it. Do it because it's going to, especially if you have children and grandchildren, and you could take them with you because this right here will most likely not happen to your child or your grandchildren. This is common in the US. I mean, maybe not a child that's young, but you can see it happens because they don't have any kind of, would you say, anything in place to police the police, right? And what it is when it comes to us Black Americans or African Americans, Hebrew Israelites, the true children of Israel, we have a history of hate against us there. And law enforcement gives free reign on us, meaning when people who hate us, they get a gun and a badge and a license to shoot, arrest, and all these things, and they are our enemies, we're in trouble because why? There is nothing that they are bound to that would slow them down or hinder them from going through um, anything detrimental to us. Meaning that if they already have a heart of dislike or hate against us, then you then give them a license to kill us. Any opportunity they get, they're going to do it. We see it. So now here we have a 2-year-old baby boy, unnecessary, life gone. Even if they were shoplifting, I don't know if they were. They probably wasn't. I don't know, but or they could have been. How serious is that? That you have to go that far, chasing after them, shooting and stuff, pulling out your gun, shooting in the car. That it ain't about. It's not about shoplifting, okay? It's not about shoplifting. This is all about hate, hatred for a people. This is what it's about. Because if this little boy was a Caucasian little boy or Asian little boy or any other race of people, they would see some women running out that store and they had been a different race of people. They would not have shot in that car because they know better than to do something like that. But when it comes down to us as a people, they feel they can get away with it, and most likely they do. A lot of times they do. That's why they do it, and they hate us anyway. And so it's like they're looking for opportunities sometimes just to get off on us, to get a notch under their belt. Yeah, yeah, I had to kill one before, but this time they hit a baby. Whew. We must pray, ask the Most High to bring His vengeance and bring it soon. I don't even want anything that we can do. I don't want that kind of I don't want them to be punished by us. I want them to be punished by the Most High. See, because we cannot do what they deserve. He's the only one that can give them what they deserve. And He say vengeance is mine. And I'm just saying, I'm praying, and we need to all start praying. Just pray that Abba Yah, please help us. Abba Yah. And we gotta be sincere and pray, and also stop praying for these people that the Most High forgive them and all that stuff. That we don't even understand that. When the Messiah was saying when he was saying these things, he was talking about other Israelites. He was saying, pray for your own people. When he said your enemies, he was saying your enemies, talking about other Israelites. Remember, he only spoke to one people. He said, I only come for the lost tribe of Israel. He was only talking to Israel. And he said, when he was saying, pray for your enemies, he was saying, pray for your enemies, because it says in the scriptures, it says the enemies will be those of your own household. They will, your enemies of your own house. So your enemies will be those of your own house. It's in there. That's what it says. And then meaning he was talking about the house of Israel. Remember the scripture, the Most High refers to us as his house, the house. And he said the enemies will be those of your own house. He was saying for us to forgive our enemies, our own people who can be our enemies at times. Because we he didn't want us to be just killing each other and not letting go disputes and different things like that. Because we're family, we're one family. So, but the Christian church has taught us that means for everybody. Well, you can look right back in the scriptures and tell that doesn't mean for everybody, because we can look in there and see when Yah told our ancestors that when I turn these people over to you, put them to the sword. Do not spare none of them. Don't spare them, right? And then it says that he said, and um do not pity them. It's in there, okay? It's in there when he was talking about dealing with other nations. So, you know, we got to stop doing the same thing over and over again because this is getting worse and worse and worse. Again, back to what I was saying. I'm over here in the motherland. I'm here. I'm back. I go back and forth sometime to the US when I have to. But this foolishness don't happen. It's not happening over here. At least in the part of Africa that I'm in. It's not that type of atmosphere. You don't have to have the fear of a people that hate you like that. This got the authority to kill you. Over here, the officers, all the officers and the government, everybody is of the same hue. There are issues, but not like this. This right here is this is a Western mindset. This is America and its sister countries. They hate us. Okay, we hate it all over, but this is a deadly hate, right? Because think about it. This is easy. Who who would just shoot? First of all, who would just shoot into a car if you just see two women jump in a car and leave, and you just gonna shoot in the car because you say, well, they were driving towards us. Okay, they were driving towards you. You jumped in front of the car. All you do is just get out the way or whatever. Who would shoot in there if you see, no guns or nothing, you just shooting in the car. Okay, and then you saw a child on top of it. They had a child with them. You would be I would be worried, like, don't even chase that car because I don't want them to get in an accident. They got that baby in there. But nah, he didn't mean nothing. He's just a little N-word. That's all. He can let him die as a baby. That's how they look at it. Don't let him grow up. This is your brother. Bestseller Yehudi Israel, also known as Eric. Look, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Get out of America if you get the chance. Come over to the motherland, and get some rest. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Shalom.